It's a good opportunity to introduce Mr. Girish Tilak. Uh, I have been in touch with him since last 6 years or so. Uh, I know him through several ways. I came to in connection with his first book, that is Headhunter. I came. I kept. I read it twice or so to know what kind of HR practices and how the headhunting is done. Basically, he owns a agency named Resume Services. He is into headhunting. He recruits all the top management of the companies. Until now, he has also published another book named Nipun Shodh. Nipun Shodh is probably the another name for headhunting. So he has recruited several top managements of several industries, be it automobile, be it FMCG, be it service sector, be it anything in the industry. You name the industry, and the top management is maybe recruited by him. Uh, so it is better to listen from him about his thoughts and his way of branding. So thank you very much for the opportunity provided to introduce Mr. Girish Tilak. Over to you, Sneha ma'am.
Thank you, Shreyas. It was a nice introduction, and I would request Girish sir to please take over.
Good morning, all. I know your voice are on the mood, so you cannot revert me back, but I know that you are driven. Acknowledge my good morning. Okay, as per request or order of Mr. Baroda Chapter Secretary Honorable Sunil Agarkar, I am supposed to speak only for 20 minutes, not more than that. So as a professional, I follow my process and order, and even I have got the commitment at 9:30 onwards. So be assured of that, Mr. Sunil Agarkar. Don't worry. Okay. The chapter what I am talking about is the personal branding. Okay. There is always confusion going on in the people's mind about the personal image and the personal brand. Image is temporary and brand is permanent. Now, if you look at our history, right from the Peshwas to Arya Chanakya to Shivaji Maharaj, all our Rashtra Sons, all our Rashtra Purush. So there are so many icons or there are so many brands India has. Okay, and we still, all our politicians, unfortunately, using those images and those brands for their present advantages without really considering what they did. But then what, when we talk about right from Shivaji Maharaj, Lokmanya Tilak, Swatantra Veer Agarkar, and n number of Rashtra Sants, but basically they worked for the society. Okay, they were not an individual brand. They were not actually living their lives. They were living their lives for the society, for the nation. Okay, but when I talk about the personal brand, the personal brand as a concept emerged somewhere around 1937. Okay, it emerged somewhere around 1937 when the second industrialization started and a industry started becoming working in the structured atmosphere, and in that period just before the Second World War and after that the personal branding really emerged. In 1937, Napoleon Hill in his one of his article first talk about this personal branding as a concept. Okay, so it is not, you can say now today 2020, so we are, it's a 83-year-old concept now we can say, but really it came into existence and it became the wildfire after 1981. Okay, in 1981 Tom Peters, one of the very famous management guru, wrote a big article, Be Your Own Brand. Okay, and that's where it started. People started collating the people or connecting the people as a brand. But when I say actually as a brand, I always say individual as a brand. What is a brand? For me, products are the brand. If so, that's for sure, but not exactly. Now, when I say the Tatas, when I look at the any of the Tata products, it is not I am dealing with the Ratan Tata, but the brand, what they have created as a family, and that's why it attracts me to go and take any Tata Namak to Tata Steel to Tata Motors. When I talk about Ford Motor, it is a Ford Motor. When I talk Google, when I talk Facebook, when I talk Pepsi, when I talk Walmart, when I talk in India, Reliance, when I talk Piramal. Okay, so there are so many industrialists who establish themselves. When I say the Infosys, even Narayan Murthy, after retiring, now almost it is 1 decade plus he has retired. But when we talk of Infosys, what comes in our mind, the first name, the brand is Infosys. But if you look at all these processes, how this brand has become iconic, how their companies has become iconic, then we need to sit and introspect ourselves. Okay, when I say the introspect, because everybody, whoever is into the business, including me, always would like to be a brand, to be known in the market. And for what we do the branding, it's all about generating the business for us. That goes without saying. All these industrialists about whom we talked about them as a brand, they are also promoting and developed and nurtured and taken it to the second generations, built up their legacy for the business purpose only. But it takes a decades to build a brand and with the clear vision of a building up the legacy. So if you really have to build a brand, it starts from your family first. When as a personal brand, are you a good father? Are you a good parent? Are you a good husband? Because if you are intrinsically very strong and good human being, and if you are performing your duties in your family very well, then only that creates or motivates you to go out and win the world. Many times I had seen there are many entrepreneurs who go out and talk big about their value systems, but when they go to their family, it is opposite. So when I say the personal brand in the family, you should be cherished. Are you committed to your family? Are you performing your duties for the family? Okay, so because we are an integral part of any family, I'm a son of somebody, I'm father of somebody, I'm a son-in-law of somebody, and blah, blah, blah. So I've got so many relatives, and we in India, at least, we are very strong about maintaining and nurturing and cherishing our relationships. So in that scenario, when I say first as a personal brand, see to it, we all perform our personal duties whenever required to the tilt, even at the cost of business sometime. That is always secondary when it comes to family first. And that gives the very right image. In fact, I'm in this business for last 25 years, and I had experienced it in 3-4 times in my life. I was going through, my father expired, and then when my mother expired. In those 20-30 days, all my partners supported me to come out of that grief. In fact, when my father expired, it was just 30 days, okay, from the date he got cancer detected and he expired. And at that time, my 5 clients waited for me to come out of the grief for 45 days. The same happened in 2018. When my mother expired, I had a surgery. So it was 1.5 months, my close to 1 dozen clients waited for me, even they paid me the advance. But why it came from, where it came from, why the trust and faith came from? And that's the brand. As a brand, are you reliable? Are you committed? The excuse what you are making is the genuine or to cover up your failure. So what is brand? Brand is integrity, brand is transparency, brand is value system, brand is evolvement. You ask yourself that when you as an individual brand, when I say as an individual brand, no, first I talk about mother. That is always good example I give. I look my mother in the various perspective. When I talk of a HR, I give the example of my mother. When I talk about the finance, then I talk of domestic finance, then I give the example of my mother. But when I come as a brand, then I also give my mother as my brand. Because he is the person, she is the person, she has evolved herself. She has evolved herself from giving a birth to me and nurturing us or nurturing me to this level. So nurturing of the brand. So when I say the personal brand in the professional terminologies, are you nurturing your brand? Are you nurturing your professional? Are you evolving yourself? Are you upgrading your knowledge and skill sets? Are you really genuine what you are talking? Everybody really looks and very happy to talk about its success stories and backpack. But how many times you openly admit your mistakes and blunders and failures? Here on the table, right now, there are 64 participants. And if everybody asks oneself, including my, every day at least we commit one mistake. And at the end of the day, am I ready in the organization also? That yes, today I think I did some mistake. And I will not do that. That is the first hallmark of your integrity towards your brand and your commitment towards your work. Are you transparent? Have they evolved over the ages? And what they talk, they preach. Now, when Thanda matlab Coca-Cola is a Coca-Cola. Whenever I even buy to go to Ulhasnagar market and buy a steel cupboard, I say the Godrej. I take any chocolate, but I say Cadbury's. Look, I take any jeans, but I say denim. But actually, I purchase Levi's. When I purchase Levi's, I said purchase Levi's. Okay, so look at these brands. They have evolved. Their tagline is almost same, Nike. Let's go ahead and do something. Let's make things better. And they are stick to it. They're stuck to it. If you look at the title of the every organization, when I say the Tata Steel's tagline is very simple. We are into everything. So when I say in the business, are you really evolved yourself and developing the products and developing the services which are required every day by the market? And how much time you as an individual professional, how much time we spend in building up our intrinsic values about our business. See, brand is all about intrinsic values. When I said the Titan, how you connect your business and how you evolve the business to the next level by utilizing the same resources of the raw material. When I say about the brand, about the Titan, I give a very simple example. Why they entered, probably they have entered into the gold watches, because as a in the jewelry business, because when they are purchasing for the gold plating fairly good amount of gold, if they have to leverage that inventory, then gold jewelries come up the good business, and Titan as a retail brand, it's good. Are you standardized when you as a brand, if you are growing national or if you have got the aspirations to go state and national over the period of time, have you standardized your processes and systems? When I go to any McDonald's, I really don't have to think of anything. It is set. When I go to any of the Radisson Blu in India or abroad, it is the same. So are you standardized? Are you structured in presenting to your customers what you are and what you are not? Are you honest with yourself while interacting with the client and saying that, yes, this is what I can do, and probably this I can think of, but it may take some time. Because in the individual entrepreneurship, I had come across many entrepreneurs who are dealing at one time into the multiple businesses. Okay, now there is always a school of thought to it, whether you should have the own one business built up good way and then grow. But then the business should be scalable. When I say about the brand, how you are clothes. When I say to the brand, it is all a butterflying effect. It is all. And when it is the more of the personal, okay, because out of the 64 members, close to 50 people must have got the self-employed. When I say that, I respect them, but they are one-man show or two-man show. So in this business, the butterflying effect. When I say the butterflying effect in the clear term, it is very simple. That is your name made by somebody. What is brand? Many times the restaurant opens in our area or in our city, but we don't go unless and until somebody refers us that this is the place where we should go ahead, and it's a good. And that's the butterflying effect. If you sit and do the sales analysis and ask yourself after that analysis that how many customers has come just because of the reference. In fact, that is one of the best brand assessment tests for all the professionals and all the entrepreneurs. Say, when I say in the last 15 years, I had not done a single sales call. In last 15 years, I had not done single sales call. But that's what I mean by how much business you are the referral. Because when you are into the professional services, you really cannot take too much of burden or too much of commitment at one time, because in the service industry, you cannot scale up just like that. Currently, we are struggling. Absolutely. Currently, we are struggling with the huge amount of assignment, huge. In fact, even if my team sits 24 hours in the office, still we will have got the pending agenda to complete with the client. Okay. And why? At one time, there is a pandemic situation. At one side, we are all talking about pandemic situation and unemployment and economy going down, blah, blah, blah. But we are into the job market wherein we have got the direct pulse and we are loaded with the work, and that's all entire is the reference. So if you are to brand and as an individual profession or any business, you first ask, what is the brand? So when I look at the marriage, any marriage ceremony in my family, we only think of a cup sets. They don't have to do anything. They had built up the good legacy. But when you can build a brand right from beginning. No, actually, the basic logic of this is, are you looking towards your business as a legacy? When I mean the legacy, handing over to the second generation in the family or handing over to the professionals and keeping your company's name alive. Then only you can think, because a lot of times I come across the entrepreneurs who really don't have any thought unless and until they have got only thought of earning for today and tomorrow max, not after that. And unless and until you have got the clear business plan and building up your own legacy, you cannot really a brand. Then you run after the image. And image is temporary and brand is permanent. That's what I will say. Okay, now I have got only 5 minutes left. So I will just quickly take you through the 10 pointers. Okay, I'll quickly take you to the 10 pointers and stop, because at 9:15 my time ends. Golden rules of personal branding. There are 10 rules. Have a focus. Are you really focused? Are you really committed? Are you really organized? Many times I had seen the entrepreneur, they are not in office even at 11 o'clock or 11:30 and their mobile switch off or silent and they are doing something else. No. Unless and until you are very focused, your team cannot be aligned to you. Are you genuine? Lot of times, there are a lot of fake businesses happens. We also get money. So are you genuine? And genuineness has not to be just talk, but it has to be in the dialogue. Say, when I am into the business for 25 years, I know what genuineness is all about. And we are many times in the business just because we are genuine and we deal with the genuine client. Many times we always react this way also. Yes, this client is really good and he is genuine. And even if he's not going to pay me, at least if he has agreed to pay me in 1 week and he is now this time saying 2 weeks, we say, okay, there must be some genuine reason. And that's the genuineness you have built in yourself also. If you are taking the loan in the business or if you have to pay back to your vendors, if you are really genuine, then your vendors and your employees are also going to wait in case of any financial hassles. Tell a story. When I say a story, there has to be a substance. Why we read the story? We read a lot of stories, but we really remember certain stories. We don't remember all the stories. So build a story which you can cherish. You, your employees, your team, your family should be getting the pleasure and pride out of the stories of your business success. And once in your family and your team, you have got created such a success stories in the business, it hardly takes any time for a butterflying effect and saying like me that for getting the business, I don't have to have the sales call. So create a stories. Be consistent. Whatever might be in the business, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. In the sports, it is good to say that class is permanent and form is temporary. But in the business, You have to be a class in permanent also, and firm is also has to be permanent. But for that, you have to be very, very consistent. There are many people who are not. When say the consistency and focus are merged together, I always say, if you are organized, then you can be consistent. Be ready to fail. In fact, I touched upon this point few minutes back that every time you cannot get success. In fact, some failure teaches you a lot of lessons. So be ready for the failure. Create a positive impact. You look into the business. When I say the business, actually, I place the people? I build other way around. I enable my clients to build their empires. If I have not given the very good glass technologies to Saint Gobain in 99 to 2001, probably they would not have. So I had seen many companies where we hired the talent and they had taken that companies from 0 to 100 or 100 to 200 or maybe 1,000. So what positive impact I have made? This is the positive impact I had made because I always a proud business partner of a lot of organizations dealing in the various product line, and that's indirectly or directly you are working with or you are getting their products and services. Follow a successful example. There is no nowadays in last couple of years there is a wave of business coaches and the business online business coaching and okay, I never believe in that. Follow the role model who is really a successful entrepreneur, who is a successful CEO. Don't deal with any business coach who had never worked in his life and never created anything in the life and just giving you the bookish fantas. Don't deal with them. And your role model, as I said, in the HR and finance, your role model can be my wife or my mother also. That is also okay with me. And in fact, I follow. Whenever I have got some issues on the financial crunch or some HR related people in my organization, many times my wife also comes with a very good solution. So your role model, many times your client also can be your role model. In fact, my mentors, my role models are my clients. I had worked with so many clients. In fact, I'm blessed to deal and sit and work with a lot of professionals who are globally in the more than 10 companies, 15 companies, and they had also come up from the rank and file like us hard way. And so be a role model. Get a role model with whom you can go and chat and discuss. Don't choose a role model of a Bill Gates. Maybe probably we cannot go and get his time. So your role model should be there, but never go towards this life and business coach who has never done anything in their life rather than just only talking. Leave your brand. Leave your brand. When I say what I say, I deliver. When I say I am a headhunter, when client comes to me, when I position myself as a headhunter, but naturally client is not going to give me the Tom, Dick, Harry's assignment. He is always going to throw the challenge dice at me. And am I ready to deliver that? Am I going to reinvent myself every day? I'm in a business or I'm blessed rather, wherein, yes, Mr. Agarkar, I have got 2 minutes with me and I have very particular follow about that. Don't need to remind me. If you do that, I will stop talking. Yeah, I'm very blunt. And I promised you. Yeah. So are you very clear what you do and you deliver? If the challenge is thrown at you, you have to face it because that we are promoted. Let other people tell your story. I don't tell never my story. I don't tell my story. The two books written are on me. I had not written. Somebody else has written. Leave a legacy. Unless and until you have got thought of a building of a legacy, you don't deal. Thank you, Mr. Agarkar. I'm close to 1 minute before time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was the great insights, and we would like to have many more lectures like this on each topic, sir. That's really great. And I would like to, hand over mic to Amod Khare to conclude this lecture. And before that, if anyone has any questions, anything which is would like to discuss with Mr. Girish Tilak, can just raise your hand. Yes, Amod, over to you.
स्नेहा, सबसे पहले तिलक जी का मैं आभारी हूँ कि सर ने आज का जो टाइम उनको मिला, नेचुरली वो बहुत कम था, उससे बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ उनके पास है हमें बताने के लिए, लेकिन फिर भी ये टाइम में जितना भी सर ने दिया है वो बहुत बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है हमारे लिए। सबसे बड़ी बात सर ने आज कही है कि ब्रांड के बारे में हम सब बोलते रहते हैं, लेकिन बड़ी कंपनियों का ब्रांड और छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जैसे हम सिंगल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है, उनके ब्रांड में क्या डिफरेंस है, वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सर ने हमें समझाया है कि जब भी हम जैसे छोटे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है, अपनी पहचान जो हम बनाते हैं, हमारा यूएसपी जो होता है, उससे हमें रेफरेंस आते हैं, और जब हमें ऐसे रेफरेंस आ रहे हैं और अपना बिजनेस बन रहा है तो वही हमारा ब्रांड है और वही करना जरूरी है, क्योंकि ब्रांड मतलब कुछ नहीं है। ब्रांड मतलब कोई इमेज नहीं है, आपकी पहचान है, जिस पहचान के कारण लोग आपके पास आते हैं। और ये भी बहुत अच्छी तरीके से उन्होंने बताया है कि सिर्फ ब्रांड बनाना ये इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, वो पहचान बनाना इतना ही काफी नहीं है, वो बरकरार रखना बहुत जरूरी है, और वो सबसे कठिन बात है कि खुद हम उसे फॉलो करें और अपने नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को भी उसको फॉलो करने के लिए दें। जो 10 सूत्रियां उन्होंने बताई वो भी बहुत बढ़िया है, फॉलो करना हमें जरूरी है। उसमें से उन्होंने जो मेंटोर की बात कही वो सबसे मुझे पसंद आई कि मेंटोर अपने ऐसे होने चाहिए कि जिनसे हम बात कर सकते हैं, जिनसे हम कुछ गाइडेंस ले सकते हैं। और वही एक मेंटोर के बारे में भी बहुत बढ़िया बात उन्होंने कही थी कि जो भी अपने मेंटोर्स है वो सोच समझ के करने चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे इधर ऐसे कहा जाता है कि आपके जो आदर्श है वो समझ के आपकी पहचान बनती है, कि आप कैसे हो ये आपके आदर्श से पता चलता है। तो सोच समझ कर ही आदर्श रखने चाहिए। जाते जाते मैं फिर से तिलक जी का तिलक जी के प्रति आभार प्रदर्शित करना चाहता हूँ कि सर आपने आज जो टाइम हमें दिया और जो भी बातें हमसे कही वो बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण थी हमारे लिए, और इसे फॉलो करके ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोग जो यहाँ सिंगल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है वो आपको कभी न कभी कंपनी के रूप में दिखाई देंगे और उनकी भी ब्रांडिंग आपको दिखाई देगी सर। और एज अ मेंटर हम आपसे कनेक्ट रहेंगे। धन्यवाद तिलक जी। और
Thank
और तो